to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. Before Paranormal Activity, before Cloverfield, but after Cannibal Holocaust, between the last broadcast and quarantine, lies this little found footage movie. Horror movies created under this format felt much more real and accessible than the typical Hollywood production. These were real people at a barbecue, or on a hike, or just trying to get some sleep. An entire genre built on the foundation of limitless battery and record space. This is the Blair Witch Project. Shot for next to nothing, it broke box office records and propelled the found footage genre into the limelight. It also utilized one of the first viral marketing campaigns that got people talking about it a year before release. It tells the story of a film student named Heather, who is making a documentary about the Blair Witch. It's a myth, just a bit of local folklore that may or may not be so mythical. She's got books and supplies, everything she'll need but a working GPS and satellite phone. She's got a small camcorder with incredible battery life. I'm gonna harp on that. Elephant in the room, try not to think about battery life and tape space too much.
Got so much fucking battery power, we could fuel a small world country for a month.
Moving on. She's being joined by cameraman Josh with his 16mm film camera. Alright, Zapruder, let's get going. At least he won't live to see iPhones. Spoilers. Also joining them is audio super freak Mike. They buy enough food for a short weekend, but I bet they'll wind up eating those Dr. Scholl's by Tuesday. They're going to Burkittsville, Maryland, ground zero for the Blair Witch. They start out filming in a cemetery, like a solid start to their movie. The quirky locals fill them in on the legends. Locals tell them of Rustin Parr, a hermit who abducted 7 kids in the 40s. He murdered them all in his basement, killing them in pairs. But there were 7. He killed them in pairs by having one stand in a corner. I am mentioning that because he lived in the woods and still managed to transport 7 children without anyone noticing.
It was like a woman.
Some of the locals are crazier than the others. I hope she likes being a meme. The first night is in a cushy motel room because tomorrow we rough it. Heather parties while she can, and they go looking for Rustin Parr's house out in the woods. They leave their car where the authorities will find it and go off on foot from there.
They're in the woods.
First stop, Coffin Rock, where 5 men were found mutilated.
The search body claims that the stench of death was still thick.
I hope this is just meant to be narration rather than watching Heather read off a book. Get a teleprompter, girl. That night they hunker down and camp.
I said I knew where we were going.
The next morning they're already a little lost. And a little lost here is like almost a virgin. More walking, dead critter, Heather peeing. There's a lot of little minutia, little things that sort of anchor the story and reality. It's not all set pieces. In fact, 90% of the movie is really mundane.
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening.
I know exactly where we're going.
The camera keeps on moving.
I think at this point they're more lost and they even argue about it.
Lost, admit that first.
Learn to love arguing. Still lost, the guys are mad at Heather because she might have oversold her map reading abilities.
We'll all look back on this and laugh heartily.
They cross a big log over a creek. More walking, more walking.
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening.
But then they find a clearing with some small cairns. Cairns are small piles of stones, sometimes used as burial markers. Oh hell! You know what's better than checking these out in broad daylight? Checking them out in the dark. At least they're respectful.
You didn't just knock that over.
Damn it, Josh. Later, they hear weird noises. Like wooden branches banging together in the middle of the woods. I think I would be more freaked out if I didn't hear anything.
Hello?
Because calling hello in a horror movie always seems to work out.
Get your ass out. What's the big deal?
It could be worse. Could be raining.
It's raining very heavily.
Damn it.
Seriously, really?
Yes.
We're mad at Heather again, and we're still lost. So they stand around and argue about it some more.
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening.
It's getting dark again because, that's how night works, so we camp again. Things are getting tense because they need to return their borrowed gear by tomorrow. Those late fees are a killer. The noises come back that night, and they stand around outside in the dark and record. Hopefully it's the Blair Witch and not a hungry bear or something. The next morning, they each have their own pile of stones. Yay! Uh-oh.
No, I didn't take the fucking map, man.
The map goes missing, so let's argue about that.
Least responsible thing you could have possibly done, man.
Not that it's been a big help anyway.
I'm just gonna stay here.
Didn't you want to leave like 10 seconds ago? Oh no, everyone's shoes got wet and Mikey kicked the map into the creek. Wait, what was that last part?
Something about a map.
I kicked that fucker into the creek!
Let's fight some more. It's gonna get awkward when they share a tent tonight. More bitching and pouting, really on the end of their ropes. When they find an Etsy store from hell.
They're all over the place.
Holy shit.
I think this is one of the spookiest scenes. It's simple, it's eerie, and it really sets off your imagination. And they come in all sizes. Later that night while camping, they hear children laughing. F that. Then somebody starts shaking the tent and they bust out into the woods screaming.
Oh my god, what the fuck is that?
And we never see what the F that was.
Dude, what the fuck is that?
They come back to camp the next morning and their shit is wrecked. And Josh's stuff is covered in slime.
It is slime.
Ew.
No, but you're going around doing your documentary.
Oh well, let's wrestle.
Then turn the goddamn thing off!
I see why you like this video camera so much. It's not quite reality.
Says the guy making a documentary. They are really losing it. At each other's throats, tired, hungry, not a Snickers in sight, and they realize they've been hiking in circles.
That tree is down. That's the same one.
Real morale killer. Even the ever-optimistic Ahab Heather is feeling the pressure.
We walked for 15 hours today. There's no one here to help you. That's your motivation.
Lighten up, Kubrick. Holy shit, they made up fast. Oh wait, that's a flashlight. Never mind. The next morning, Josh is gone, but his stuff is still there. They spend the day looking for him, but no dice.
Nothing's happening.
That night, they think they hear Josh out in the woods.
Where are you? Tell me where you are.
Kinda sounds like he's screaming, so best of luck to you, man. The next morning, Heather finds a bundle of sticks bound with bits of Josh's shirt and containing a bloody tooth. So Heather puts $1 in the bundle and recloses it. Heather gets the old 1,000-yard stare, and Mikey better pray she doesn't have a handgun on her. That night, Heather records the iconic apology video, where she apologizes to Mike and Josh's families for getting them lost and probably killed. And then for some reason, she apologizes for sticking up for Danny Masterson. Stop writing letters, people! Later, they follow Josh's voice to the abandoned ruins of Rustin Parr's house, and it turns into a Nuke's Top 5 video on PCP. There's weird symbols all over the walls and tiny handprints, and they split up.
I'm getting downstairs.
Big mistake.
Gosh!
Mike goes into the basement, another big mistake, and he gets hit by an unknown force, we hope. Heather follows Mike down and finds him standing in the corner. See? Just like how Rustin Parr killed people in pairs. So is this the Blair Witch Project or the Rustin Parr Project? Something takes out Heather and her camera falls to the floor. The safe word is taco.
Shut the fuck up!
It's over. A lot of people in the audience look pissed.
That was the Blair Witch Project. This movie reignited the found footage genre, and it used this format effectively, presenting the story as if it were a real documentary. This blurs the line between fiction and reality. The viral marketing campaign on this movie was so effective, it convinced many people that this was indeed a true story, even presenting the stars as missing and presumed dead. People formed search parties, which I bet the locals just adored. Like Elvis sightings, people to this day are claiming that a girl who looks just like Heather once sold them weed. I went into this movie knowing it was fiction. The stars are alive and well, just a movie. But by that end scene, Mikey in a corner, my heart was pounding like a jackhammer. And when a movie makes me forget reality, even for a couple of minutes, that's what I love about movies.
Think I'm gonna barf.
I almost forgot to mention how the amateur camera work made a lot of viewers nauseous. I sat in the back of the theater, so I didn't notice myself, but this effect is also minimized on smaller TV screens. Still, keep some Dramamine handy. The film creates a sense of realism and tension, making it really unsettling and immersive. Instead of relying on gore or jump scares, the Blair Witch Project excels at psychological horror. It creates fear through the unknown and the characters' deteriorating mental states. The film leaves much to the viewer's imagination. The Blair Witch itself is never shown. The film's minimalist approach with a small cast and crew relied heavily on improvisation and natural, authentic reactions from the actors. Some viewers may find the film slow-paced as it builds tension gradually.
Nothing's happening.
True terror comes from within, and from the filmmakers' mental deterioration and paranoia. The Blair Witch Project is 3.5 Bs. It may not be for everyone because of its slow pace and reliance on audience imagination. It still remains as a compelling example of how less can be more. The movie's certainly lightning in a bottle. I can't imagine them ever making a sequel out of this. Oh dear, there's a sequel, isn't there? All right. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell. You know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.